Hello guys, in this video I will be showcasing MONARCH YHWACH in Anime Vanguards. He was released in the BLEACH update. Current update I'm making this video on, and he's the first ever unit to be obtained in Rifts. Before we get into the video, here are his stats. With that out of the way, let's get into the showcase. As usual, we will be going to Namex Sandbox. His first attack is an insane 180 AoE, which is our first time having one in AV. His next attack turns into a big circle AoE and is pretty good in terms of size. Before we continue with the showcase, let's talk about his passive. First of all, he has a cosmic element. His first passive is extremely good, immune to everything and dodges boss attacks, and every time he gets hit or when he nullifies a debuff, he gets a 5% damage increase up to 30%, which is insane. His most impressive passive is his second one. He basically attacks twice and doubles his DPS, which is insane considering that he can be a support too. His last passive grants him his ability where you can choose whether you want him to support and give 15% range to your own units, or make him a DPS, debuff your own units by 20% damage and 10% range in exchange for 10% damage and 5% range for every affected unit. Feel free to read the passives here. Now let's continue on with the showcase. For some reason, his next attack actually makes his range and AoE smaller, then becomes big again after upgrading it. Weird. Now for his final attack. He turns into a full AoE and he gains his OP ability that I mentioned earlier. Now that we've seen his stats without his 30% damage buff from his passive, I'll purposely stun him and see how much he does. This is him at his support state without any buffs. As you guys saw, Frieza attacked him 6 times and he gained an extra 5k DPS, making him do 15k DPS with full AoE plus 15% range buff to your own units. Now we will be comparing him as a support versus him as a DPS. First off, we'll be doing the support version of him. I will be buffing him up with all 5 supports in the game and see how much his DPS is. With just Oriheim and Haruka, he gained 5k DPS as a support. So with max buffs, he gained a 9.5k DPS boost with just 4 supports. Now, I'll be doing the Sakura corruption, corrupting Fubuki's 3.6 SPA and YHWACH's 7.6 SPA. With Sakura's buff, he is now attacking every 6.5 seconds twice. With this buff, he's at 29,127 DPS. Remember that he is supporting and attacking twice. It's time to see how strong a DPS YHWACH is. We will be doing 5 rares, 4 of them having 6 placements and 1 of them having 5 placements. For the 5 supports we used earlier, we will be ignoring them, think of them as another player's units and remove 50% damage and 25% range on YHWACH. This is how much damage he does with 5 set of rare units. Insane. I think this video proves that YHWACH is definitely meta and is a must-have unit. He is free anyway, so why not get him? Anyway, that will be all for this video. Good luck on getting him. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you on the next one.